Do you ever find that you make promises all the time to yourself and then break those promises? You make promises to other people and keep them like they're going out of style. I mean, you could have a to do list that is 10,000 items long and check off every single one of the ones that applies to somebody else. But when it comes to keeping promises to yourself, they just don't happen. For example, do you set your alarm clock or have you frequently set your alarm clock to get up early in the morning and work out? But when the alarm clock went off, you pushed snooze. And not only did you push it once, but you pushed it 18 times. So you ended up waking up late. Or maybe you tell yourself that you're going to eat healthier, but rather than eating healthier, you overburden yourself and you end up going through the McDonald's drive-through to get something easy for dinner rather than coming home and heating up the stuff, the healthier stuff that you already prepared. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways to keep promises to yourself. I'm Kim Sutton. I'm the host of the Positive Productivity Podcast and also a marketing and business automation mentor. And I have wound up in the role that I am in because for so many years in my business and in my personal life, I was overcommitting and keeping promises to other people, but I was failing myself. And in 2016, I ended up in a very deep, dark downward spiral where I became very depressed, anxiety ridden, and in the end, suicidal. But thankfully, I had a huge spiritual experience, which I'm not going to get into today. And I'm here to share my stories with you now so that I can help you prevent the same from happening to you. So, the first way of the 3 ways to keep promises to yourself is to get clear on your purpose. When you don't know your purpose, or when you think your sole purpose on this planet and in this life is to make money, it is so easy to say yes to this, that, and every other thing. But when you find your heart's desire and you're able to act only on activities which are aligned with your purpose, then it becomes much easier to keep promises to yourself. And I'm going to dive into a little bit more why on that in items number 2 and 3. But I really want you to get clear today on what your purpose is. Why are you on this planet? And I'll tell you right now that my purpose is to help entrepreneurs set up business and marketing automation to help them get away from their computers, away from the work, and back into bed or back to the people that they love. I don't want to hear another story of an entrepreneur who was so anxiety ridden or depressed because they were working 20, 22 hours a day that they committed suicide. It is my mission to help those people pull back and reclaim their personal life. Actually, that's there shouldn't be a shrug there. That's my purpose. Like if I'm not serving into that either for myself or other people, I don't want to be doing it. Way number 2 of how to keep of the 3 ways to keep promises to yourself is to stop over committing. Whether you're over committing to other people or over committing to yourself, it needs to end. And the easiest way for it to end is start saying no to anything which is not aligned with your purpose, which was item number 1. I used to struggle so much with saying no because I was afraid people weren't going to like me, or because I was afraid that I wouldn't have money to support my family, or because this or because that. But the way that I was able to stop overcommitting was to realize that no is actually okay to say. It's not just okay, but it's required if we're going to succeed. The easiest way to say yes to yourself is to say no to other people. And I know that may sound like you're not giving and that you don't care about other people, but think about the airplane analogy. The flight attendants and or the recording that we hear when we get on an airplane always says to put your mask on first and then help other people. It's the same here. When you're overcommitting to other people, you don't have time to put your own mask on. And that's an easy way to break promises to yourself. When you go down your to do list and you start checking off the activities that other people need from you one by one, before you even look at the activities that you need to do for you, that's a ridiculously easy way to break promises. Don't do that anymore. Start saying no to anything that's not aligned to your purpose. Stop saying yes to everything that people ask you to do. Embrace the word no, and you'll be able to keep those promises. Way number 3 is to remember that less is more. And this has been a hard pill for me to swallow. So, again, the third way of the 3 ways to keep promises to yourself is to remember that less is more. Here's an example. About a month ago, I decided that I was going to get serious on my weight and on getting healthier and getting more fit. So, not only did I decide that I was going to ride my exercise bike once a day, I decided that I was going to do 100 crunches a day, 100 push ups, 100 jumping jacks, 100 squats, 100 mountain climbers, and I'm sure there was something else too. Now, let me tell you, I could barely do one crunch or one sit up when I started. I quickly deflated myself and I really just wanted to give up. So I think I got through 8 sit ups that first day. I don't even remember how much of everything else, and I may have very well just given up. But when we put way too much on our plate, it's easy to become overwhelmed and just give up on everything. So today, if you're struggling to keep promises with yourself, I want you to look at all the promises that you're trying to keep and pare them down to one. Maybe you're trying to eat healthier and exercise, and you're struggling with both. How about if you just focus on one of those today? What if you start with the exercise and work the food in? Or what if you start with the food, the healthy food, and then you work the exercise in? Or maybe you want to build an online course, but you've decided, I've done this before, by the way, or you've decided that you want to launch a podcast, but rather than did the launch, that's what I thought I was doing. By the time the Positive Productivity podcast launched, I already had 80 episodes, 40, 80, I don't know, a lot of episodes in the can. And I was so overwhelmed with trying to record episodes for 2 podcasts. And not just that, but I thought that both podcasts were going to be daily shows. Let me try that again. Less is more, and positive productivity does not mean perfection. Over the over the course of my 3.5 years as a podcaster, I've cut back on the Positive Productivity podcast from being a daily show to a 2 times a week show. And then just earlier this year in 2020, I cut it back to once a week. And I'll tell you that the feedback that I'm receiving from my audience is amazing. I wasn't over committing just to myself, but I was overcommitting them. They didn't have time to listen to 7 days a show or 7 days a week of shows from me, just like I didn't have time or money to create 7 shows a week. So, by cutting back and embracing the less is more theory, I was able to provide better content to them and take the stress off of me. It's a lot easier to tell myself that I'm going to fully produce 1 show a week with full marketing than it is to tell myself that I'm going to do 7. By the way, if you're thinking about launching a podcast, please start small. Start with the less is more scenario. And if you find that you still have 20, 40 hours a week left over after you produce that 1 show, then maybe consider going to 2. I would love to hear which of these 3 ways to keep promises to yourself is the most especially helpful to you today. Pardon my grammar. Which of the 3 ways to keep promises to yourself have you found most helpful, and which will you be working on implementing in your life? So make sure to put a comment down below. And if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure to click like and subscribe and turn on the bell so that you know the next time I release a video. I would love to hear your comments. So, again, post those below, and I'll be back on Wednesday with my next Work Smarter, Not Harder Wednesday video in the series. Now, with all this said, go forth and make it a positive and productive day.